we have a feeding frenzy going on here. The media and politicians, Democrats and certainly Republicans, are standing on the sidelines cheering all this on. The fact of the matter is that the
Hold
president...
on. The media is not cheering this on. We're doing our jobs as vehicles for the very real conversations that are taking place about the president of the United States and whether he should continue in. I mean, we've had Democrats, one today, who said he should step aside.
Pamela, perhaps you should have listened to what I said. I said the Republicans are on the sidelines cheering all of this on. And in fact, they are. And my curiosity is, where's Trump in all of this? The same questions that have been raised about Biden need to be raised about Trump. He skips lines. He changes subjects right in the middle of a sentence. That is also not being observed by the media. However, the focus is on the president. The president had a bad night, no doubt about it. However, the next day, he was giving a very strong stump speech using a teleprompter part of the time, also speaking ad lib off the teleprompter. And he followed that up yesterday in Minnesota. And his interview, I thought, was okay. He does not do a strong interview. He is always soft-spoken, underspoken, if you would, when he does an interview. But he hit the subjects. I would refer you back to that debate. Trump did not answer one question, not one question. Biden did answer questions, some of them not well. However, going forward, clearly, Trump has been ignored for exactly the same underlying concerns that are now present for Biden.
Right. And I understand, first of all, yes, Trump did lie more than 30 times in the debate.
Yes, he did.
That is for certain. The reality is, though, and there has been media attention on, you know, his meandering and not putting together coherent sentences, which is absolutely true and absolutely a fair point. But when it came to the debate performance, Donald Trump did not have the kind of performance that Joe Biden did, where there was genuine concern about Joe Biden and his health and mental fitness and mental acuity to run for another 4 years. I mean, you're seeing that in the polls. You have 75% of the voters saying that someone else should be, you know, ahead of the ticket here. And you have 5 House Democrats who are calling for Biden to step aside. Now, the majority of party members have stayed silent publicly, though our reporting indicates there are others who believe the party should go a different direction. I'm curious what you think. I mean, is the president... Is the president in denial right now about this reality?
Well, first of all, 5 out of 212. 5 out of 212.
That is true.
Democratic. So going forward, the president not only yesterday did an interview, did a rally, he also spoke to 2 heads of state. He's carrying on his function as president of the United States, carrying on, as he said in that interview, that he is tested every day, every moment of every day, as to his mental capacity. And I am, having watched it, having been in a few of those meetings over the years, yes, indeed, he is being tested. And I would say that he's doing very, very well with it. He doesn't do a strong, in-your-face interview. He doesn't do that. He's soft-spoken. So when he was talking to Stephanopoulos, he didn't come forward and really charge back at the questions that were being asked of him. But he did answer every single one of them, not in a way that that George may have wanted. And by the way, George was demanding a cognitive test. Well, demand one of Trump, a real one, not the fake one that he did that was a kindergarten level one.
Let's listen, actually. We have that sound that you were just talking about from President Biden. Let's listen to it now.
Did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
So in your view, is that answer passing the cognitive test where he says, I don't know if I watched the debate? And did he pass the cognitive test on that debate stage?
He didn't want to say yes or no. The reality is he didn't want to get that question expanded. and he basically shut down the question. But in doing so, he raised the issue that you just brought forth once again. So, okay, let's go forward. Did he watch it? My guess is he saw some pieces of it. I'm sure that he did. Well, how would I know? I believe he probably saw some portions of it. Did he watch the whole thing? Probably not. An hour and a half. Does he have an hour and a half given all the other things he must do as president? So in answer to that question, he came down really on both sides of it.
Mm-hmm. So he did come down on both sides of it. But I think, in this moment where people are trying to assess what's going on here, that's a yes or no answer, right? But let me just take a step back here, because in this brief interview last night, he disputed the poll numbers showing him trailing. On Democratic leadership, he said they all said I should stay in the race. And on the Democratic governors he met with at the White House, he said all the governors want him to stay in the race, yet we know Governor Healey of Massachusetts expressed concerns after her meeting. Also, Nancy Pelosi, in Democratic leadership, said, is this an episode or a condition? That's not exactly coming out and saying, hey, stay in the race and fight on. Do you think he grasps the reality of this situation right now and what is at stake?
He absolutely knows what's happening here. He is a seasoned elected official, and he knows that he is faced with a very serious challenge. And he is addressing that challenge. He addressed that challenge by going with the interview with Stephanopoulos. He's doing that on the campaign trail. And I would, from what I understand from reports, that he will be doing interviews, more of them, and he'll certainly be out there probably doing press conferences, one or another. He knows what the situation is. He understands the risk to this nation if Trump gets elected. He's been very, very clear about that. As of now, it's clear in his mind and in mine that he can carry on and should carry on because he has been an extraordinary president in the first 3.5 years of his tenure, putting together a national industrial policy to rebuild the American economy, to rebuild our infrastructure, to address the issues of climate change. All of those things he did. And like all of us, he wants to finish the job, and he can do it. He can do it. Campaigning is a necessary part of this, and he's in the campaign mode. Simultaneously, he is in the presidential job, carrying out the tasks of being a president.
There's some of the Democrats who have come out to tell him to step aside, though, note his record and thank him for his record and thank him for beating Trump in 2020, but they are gently telling him, look, your time's up, right? Because I think the concern from them is the next 4 years and beating Trump. I mean, that's the end goal for Democrats. Can he beat Trump? Let me ask you, as the campaign puts him out more, there's going to be more opportunity as well for potential missteps or those moments that might feed into the narrative about, whether he's mentally up for the job. And, are you concerned about that? Does that raise the stakes? What if come October, another moment happens that fits into that narrative just before the election? Are these the kinds of things you're thinking about and discussing with your colleagues?
Well, I will tell you, those moments appear every single time Trump goes out publicly. Every time Trump is out on the stage, he has those moments. He starts a sentence and then suddenly a different subject halfway through the sentence.
But I'm asking
And
about Biden because
does-
it's the concern among the
I
voters.
understand
It's
you're
the
asking-
voters' concern about Biden, his age, and his mental acuity. So that's the reality you're facing as a Democrat.
You specifically raised this as a campaign issue. This is a campaign between two people. You have one who has been an extraordinarily successful president. You have in Biden. You have another in Trump that said he had infrastructure week every week during his presidency and never did a thing for infrastructure.
And we
Biden
covered
came
that.
in and did it within the first year. So yes, you did. And the reality is this is about two candidates. Biden had a bad situation with the debate, no doubt about it. He's come on strong in the rallies and even in the interview. Going forward, his performance activities, his statements, will be compared to Trump's. Trump stumbles, bumbles, and lies through every single time he's on the stage. He certainly did that during the debate. He stumbled along the way. He changed his subjects halfway through, and he didn't finish his sentences, and he certainly didn't answer one question. So going forward, you're looking at a campaign in which you have Donald Trump, certified serial liar, a person that could not measure up to one of the elements of the Boy Scout oath, honor, you name it. He doesn't have any of those attributes. He is not a good person. Biden
Okay.
is, in
But
his
what
heart, a
if-
good person, and he's done a great job as president.